Good morning to everyone. My wife is now wife is clear on this.
ప్రాపర్గా లేదు సార్.
Now wife is clear on this. Now wife is clear on this.
My voice is audible and okay అండి. Knowledge maps to okay అండి. Knowledge maps to link knowledge to strategy, systematically mapping, categorizing, benchmarking, and applying knowledge with the help of knowledge management system cannot only make such knowledge more accessible, but also prioritizes and focuses knowledge management. The idea of knowledge maps as applied to knowledge management comes from research by Michael Jack, who also describes this process as knowledge-based SWOT analysis, means strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats analysis. Effective knowledge management strategies using such knowledge maps can help companies build a defensive, competitive knowledge position, a long-term effort that requires foresight, insight, careful planning, alignment, as well as luck. Let us examine the process moving from a high level to the level of action that companies can use to create such knowledge maps. Starting at the top, the articulate strategy knowledge link. A company must explicit its strategic intent, identifying knowledge required to actually execute that strategic choice and reveal its strategic knowledge gaps by comparing these to its actual knowledge assets. The strategic choices that a company makes regarding technology, markets, products, services, and processes have a direct impact on the knowledge, skills, and competencies that it needs to compete in its intended markets. Means high-level JX framework based on strategic knowledge gap analysis is given in the diagram, which reflects the knowledge gap and strategic gap in the cyclical and sequential order. Assessing a company's present knowledge position necessitates documenting its existing knowledge assets. For initial high-level analysis, knowledge can be categorized into three classification buckets. Core knowledge. Core knowledge is the basic level of knowledge required just to perform basic business functions. This is the type of knowledge that creates a barrier of entry of new companies, since this level of knowledge is expected of all competitors. Company must have it, even though it will provide the company with no advantage that distinguishes it from its competitors. Means relating to a company developing websites, for example, means hosting capabilities, internet programming skills, graphic design skills, and clearly identify target markets and necessary software. In this scenario, the competitor in those businesses is assumed to have this knowledge in order to compete in their respective markets. Such essential knowledge, therefore, provides no advantage over their market players. Similarly, advanced knowledge, innovative knowledge, and creating a knowledge map, these are all will be considered relating to its competitors in the business environment. And here the diagram clearly illustrates creating a knowledge map to evaluate corporate knowledge with various phases relating to innovator, market leader, capable competitor, struggler, and risky player. Like this, a company can categorize each market player, including the company itself, as an innovator, leader, capable competitor, straggler, and risky player. Next, the company has to identify its own business strengths and weaknesses on various facts of knowledge to see whether the company lack or lead the competitors. Then the company can reposition its knowledge or its strategic business focus by using that information. And next part is analyzing knowledge gaps. In any scenario in the system, sometimes gaps will arise. Some gap will be analyzed using several techniques in that knowledge management. The gap between what a company is doing and what it should be doing represents its strategic gap. Similarly, a company's knowledge gap is represented by what that company should know and what it does know in order to support the competitive position that it has adopted. These two gaps must be aligned and must feed into each other to bridge existing gaps. That is the mechanism. And the linkages between a company's strategic context, knowledge management strategy, and the knowledge management technology are illustrated in the given diagram below. Means aligning knowledge and business strategy relating to environment, strategic context, knowledge management technology, knowledge management strategy in a cyclical order. And the next topic in our subject relating to innovation and knowledge management. In knowledge management, that is block 4, knowledge management system and architecture. Every system will have architecture. For example, it is a big data in IT industry that is having the architecture of mapping and reducing, and a 3-tier architecture, that too. If you take data mining, data warehousing also having 2-tier architecture and 3-tier architecture. If you take software development, SDLC, in software development lifecycle, every project its own architecture will be there and it will be established. Similarly, in processing of knowledge management also, some architecture should be established and implemented. Relating to that, we are going to discuss in this block 4, knowledge management system lifecycle. Similarly, SDLC in software project management, and here also relating to knowledge management, the cycle name is knowledge management system lifecycle, like SDLC in IT industry. Next one is knowledge creation, capture, and codification. How we write programming coding in IT industry. Here also similar pattern, codification relating to knowledge management. And third content is knowledge management system development. How we will develop product in IT industry. Similar here also. Next one is knowledge management system testing and deployment. In IT industry, we will do manual testing, regression testing, and the next one is currently we are having with respect to testing Selenium, means automated testing. How they are implementing here also testing. Then after testing is completed, how we will deploy the project in IT industry. Similarly, here also in knowledge management also. And in that one, first we are having knowledge management system life cycle. In that one, we are having challenges in building knowledge management system, conventional versus knowledge management life cycle, the 10-step knowledge management roadmap. Now, knowledge management activity in India has been happening for a long time now and has a very important role in improving future business strategies of companies. This is especially true in the case of any product development management, as it is one of the major applications of knowledge management. A good knowledge management repository captured on earlier products helps a lot during the release of new products. However, successful building of knowledge management system can be challenged to companies willing to have a system of their own. Some of the factors that can make the challenge a tougher one are described here. Readiness of people. The people factor plays an important part while assessing a company's readiness for knowledge management. There is a need to assess readiness of the employees. For instance, if a person is doing something interesting and innovative in a company and is asked to put down his experience in some form for his colleagues' company to use, he may be a bit reluctant to do it. Apart from apprehensions and nervousness, there can also be sheer boredom. So getting employees ready for creation of knowledge is a key factor in building knowledge management. Means making the people ready to gain that knowledge is very important, which is a primary step. Next step is availability of champion. Next one is technology support. Next one is capability of knowledge management system. Next one is investment constraints. Means if we take IT industry or several MNC companies, the investment will come from venture capital fund managers. Like that, some of the companies will get investments from banks, loans, like that. Some they will issue a follow-on public offer, IPO, initial public offer, like that. Whatever it may be the scenario relating to investment constraints will be there. Next one is attractiveness of payoff to the organization. Next step is ease in maintenance and updating. It is very important to notice that just we establish a company that will not be sufficient. How to maintain that, how to implement that, maintenance also plays a major role. Just setting up, establishing a thing is not necessary. The maintenance also plays a major big task in day-to-day real-time scenario. And next topic is conventional versus knowledge management system life cycle. It is important to have a life cycle in building knowledge management systems. The benefits of the approach are it provides structure and order to the process of design and development. If you take semiconductor industry, semiconductor designing will be there and semiconductor manufacturing means product development will be there. Country like India, we are having only designing capability. But country like small country like Taiwan and America, big country and developed country, they are having both the designing and semiconductor manufacturing, which we are using our chips in laptops and desktops, like that. It provides a breakdown of the activities into manageable steps. It encourages good documentation for possible changes in the future. It facilitates coordination of the project for a timely completion and regular management review at each phase of the cycle. Knowledge management system development differs with conventional system in many ways. The differences can be stated as follows. Process. A conventional system is sequential. The steps are carried out in a sequence. The process of knowledge management system development life cycle is incremental and interactive. And coming to testing phase. Testing takes place at the end of programming in conventional system development. In case of knowledge management system development life cycle, testing occurs throughout various phases of system development as the system evolves. Focus. The conventional system is process driven and documentation oriented, specify and build. On the other hand, knowledge management system development life cycle lays emphasis on the flow of data and is result oriented, start slow and grow. Means every journey starts with a small single step. Same philosophical concept applies here also. Prototyping. The conventional system does not support rapid prototyping or advanced languages. Knowledge management system development lifecycle promotes rapid prototyping and incorporate changes on the spot. Next one is scope. Conventional system development is more extensive than for knowledge management system development lifecycle. User role. Systems analysts deal with information from the user who is aware of the problem and solution. In case of knowledge management system development lifecycle, knowledge developers deal with experts who provide knowledge and users who make use of it. Users know the problem but not the solution. Specialists know the problem and the solution. The 10-step knowledge management roadmap. What are those 10 steps? Analysis of existing infrastructure, aligning knowledge management and business strategy, knowledge management architecture and design, knowledge audit and analysis, designing knowledge management team, creating knowledge management system blueprint, developing knowledge management system, pilot testing and deployment, change management, metrics for knowledge work. They're all 10 steps relating to knowledge management development roadmap. And analysis of existing infrastructure, which consisting of requirement analysis from strategy perspective and existing system analysis from technology point of view. Means both strategically, technologically, that should be sound enough relating to existing infrastructure. Next one is aligning knowledge management and business strategy. Means in implementing the strategy, particularly in a business environment, the performance will be taken into consideration. And model of alignment and types of strategies. Defend, prospect, and analyze. They are the three business strategies which consisting of model of alignment in the real-time scenario, and how the performance will be considered for defend, differentiate, and for prospect, integrate, and for analyze, combine the strategies. This is the strategy implemented relating to performance perspective in real-time scenario. Next, third one is knowledge management architecture and design. Very important. Developing a knowledge management system is a complex task. It is not a simple task. It is a very complex task. The designed system architecture should suit the organizational culture and business needs. What is the need of the client and what business need the client is having in the business environment, that we have to take care in building the architecture. Knowledge management system can be as simple as a file folder or a complex business intelligence system which uses an advanced data visualization and artificial intelligence. Means current artificial intelligence, data analysis, predictive analytics, prescriptive analytics, descriptive analytics, Internet of Things. These are all will be considered in building the architecture. Though there are differences between architectures in terms of functions and services, the major components of architecture are comparable. Means the Amrit pointed out that knowledge management system should comprise four major components: repository, collaborative platform, network, and culture. What is this repository? It holds explicit formal and informal knowledge such as declarative knowledge, procedural knowledge, and casual knowledge and context. This component acts as the core of KMS, which aims to store and retrieve knowledge for future use. Means for future prospects, we can store the knowledge and we can retrieve the knowledge. That is the mechanism relating to repository. Second one is collaborative platform. What it consisting of? It supports distributed work and incorporates pointers, skills, databases, expert locators, and informal communication channels. Means this collaborative platform is consisting of basically skills, pointers, databases, and informal communication channels. And third one is network mechanism. What it consisting of? It means both physical and social networks that support to communication and conversation. Physical network is a hard network such as intranet, shared space, and backbone. Social networks is a soft network such as communities of practice, associations, and working groups. And next one is culture. Culture is another component as it is the enabler to encourage sharing and use of the knowledge management system. Research has revealed that the greatest difficulty in knowledge management is changing people's behavior and create readiness to use the system. The other tools could be integrated to enhance the quality of services of the system. Means culture here means integration for improving the quality in knowledge management system. And the 7-layer knowledge management architecture. First one is interface layer, that is browser. Second one is access and authentication layer, authentication, recognition, security, and firewall. Next one is collaborative intelligence and filtering. In that one, intelligent agent tools, content personalization. Next one is application layer, skill directories, yellow page, collaborative tools. Next one is transport layer, web and TCP by IP deployment. That is network protocols, transmission control protocol by internet protocol. Next one is middleware and legacy integration layer, which consisting of wrapper tools. And final one is a repository in legacy system will contains document bases. This is total 7-layer architecture of knowledge management. Next one is the 3-tiered service model in knowledge management system: presentation services, knowledge services, and infrastructure services. Presentation services consisting of personalization and visualization. Visualization relating to charts, graphs, tables, etc., diagrams. And knowledge services, knowledge creation, knowledge sharing, and knowledge reuse whenever we are having that necessity. Third one is infrastructure service. that is storage and communication process. Knowledge audit and analysis. How we will be having auditing means in our financial matters. Like that, knowledge also can be audited. That is relating to knowledge audit and analysis. In auditing, we are having two types: statutory audit and just routine auditing. Means internal auditing, which is known as internal auditing and statutory auditing. Internal audit can be done by this BCom, MCom, local company people, but statutory audit can be done by chartered accountants professionally appointed by regulatory authorities. Like that, here also, knowledge audit is the process to identify every knowledge produced by an organization, who produce and use it, how frequent is the knowledge used, and where is the knowledge stored. It would provide accurate identification, quantification, measurement, and assessment of the sum total of tactic and explicit knowledge in the organization. In other words, knowledge audit assesses what knowledge assets are possessed by a specific organization. The goal of knowledge management audit is to find areas with the most potential for future strategic advantage for making investment. Means to improve the investment, this audit will be more helpful, particularly relating to knowledge management. Next one is designing knowledge management team. Means unless until human resources are strong, we cannot work it properly to get fruitful results in any organization. Relating to that, designing knowledge management team with very good experts, highly intellectual people who are having proficiency in skills. Next, from the knowledge management team that will design, build, implement, and deploy knowledge management system. To design an effective knowledge management team, you must identify the following: key stakeholder who both within and outside your company, sources of expertise, ways to balance technical and managerial requirements. Means both technical and functional should be sound enough in that particular organization. Next one is areas of expertise should be clearly identified. Next one is key stakeholders will be both from inside the company and outside the company. Advisors we can appoint from outside, promoters and promoter group from inside, employees from inside, and some external auditors, that is from outside. Like that, stakeholders of the company. Next one is creating knowledge management system blueprint. The knowledge management team builds on a knowledge management blueprint that provides a plan for a building and incrementally improving a knowledge management system. This step integrates work from all preceding steps so that it culminates in a strategically oriented knowledge management system design. The designer must understand its 7 layers specifically in the context of the company and determine how each of these can be optimized for performance and scalability, as well as high levels of interoperability. Specifically, the following issues will be addressed: customize the 7 layers of knowledge management just now we discussed and architecture to the needs of your company. Understand and select components required by your company. Integrate to repositories, content centers, knowledge aggregation, and mining tools. The collaborative platform, knowledge directories, the user interface options, push delivery mechanisms, and integrative elements. Design the system for high levels of interoperability, which existing IT investments optimize for performance and scalability. Understand and execute repository lifecycle management. Understand and incorporate the 7 key user interface considerations. Position and scope the knowledge management system to a feasible level where benefits exceed costs. Make the build or buy decision and understand the trade-off. Future-proof the knowledge management system so that it does not run out of gas when the new technology hits the market. They all will be addressed relating to knowledge management system. Next point is developing knowledge management system. How to develop it proficiently and strongly. Based on the blueprint, the actual system has to be created by putting together a working system. Several issues of integrating a system across different layers to build a coherent and stable knowledge management platform have to be resolved. Specifically, the designer has to do the following: develop the interface layer, create platform independence, leverage the intranet, enable universal authorship, and optimize video and audio streaming. Develop the access and authentication layer, secure data, control access, and distribute control. Develop the collaborative filtering and intelligence layer using intelligence agents and collaborative filtering systems. We look at options to buy intelligence versus easy and free tools that can be used to build your own. Develop and integrate the application layer with intelligence layer and a transport layer. Leverage the extant transport layer to take advantage of existing networks that are already in place of your company. Develop the middleware and legacy integration layer to connect knowledge management system both to true legacy data and recent. Integrate and enhance the repository layer. They're all the points to be taken into consideration for developing a knowledge management system in real-time scenario. Next point is pilot testing and deployment. The efficacy of a knowledge management system in meeting needs of user can be checked by a cross-functional knowledge management team pilot test. Cross-functional team can help uncover the needs. However, the ultimate reality check is pilot deployment. Specifically, the following steps are followed. Understand the need for a pilot project. If it is needed, select the right non-trivial and representative pilot project. Identify and isolate failure points in pilot projects. Understand the scope of knowledge management system deployment. Use the RDA methodology to deploy the system using cumulative results driven business releases. Select the releases that have higher payoff. Identify and avoid the traps in RDI methodology. Next one is change management. Many tend to assume that the intrinsic value of innovation such as knowledge management system will lead to its enthusiastic adoption and use. To sell the system to employees, effort is necessary. Knowledge sharing cannot be mandated. Your employees are not like troops, they are like volunteers. Employee acceptance can be gained by creating new reward structures that motivate employees. Most important is enthusiastic leadership. As a part of this step, the following initiatives are necessary. Appoint a chief technological and chief knowledge officer to play the role of evangelist. Describe his responsibilities. Enable process triggers for the success of knowledge management system. Manage and implement cultural process changes for the success of knowledge management system and strategy. Create reward structures for providing motivation for quick and smooth adoption of the new knowledge management system. This will reflect relating to change management in the real-time scenario relating to knowledge management. Next point is metrics for knowledge work. Means metrics means here the quality measurements. The last step is object to evaluation. Identify useful metrics and select the appropriate ones. Examine how successful companies have approached metrics, what errors they have made in the past, and how you can learn from their mistakes. Some of the evaluation techniques are return on investment, that is ROI, benchmarking, balanced scorecard method, BSC method, quality function deployment, QFD method. The evaluation lets you refine knowledge management design through subsequent iterations. Means in any company, if you take IT industry, there will be Six Sigma quality metrics method, ISO 9001 quality metrics method. Like that, relating to knowledge management also, these metrics are mandatory. Some of them are return on investment, benchmarking, balanced scorecard method, and quality function deployment method, which are used for metrics for knowledge work in real-time scenario. Next topic in our syllabus is knowledge creation, capture, and codification. Creating the knowledge also very important task. Sometimes a difficult task also. Creating knowledge relating to satellite technology, space technology. It is somewhat difficult in the real-time scenario. Making expertise in satellite technology, space technology like that. Knowledge creation relating to data science, Internet of Things, DevOps, digital marketing, cloud computing, supercomputing, quantum computing. These areas is a little bit flexible compared to space technology and satellite technology like that. In this chapter, we are having knowledge creation and Nonaka's model, meaning of knowledge capture, capturing from experts, knowledge codification, meaning and purpose, models of knowledge conversion, codification process, codification tools, knowledge developers, skill set. First of all, knowledge creation and Nonaka's model. The ability to create new knowledge is often at the heart of the organization's competitive advantage. To be frank and honest, whenever there is a competitive environment only, quality will evolve. If there is no competition, means there will not be any quality in that particular environment. That is the truth. Same philosophy, morals, ethics applies to knowledge creation also. Knowledge creation refers to the continuous combination, transfer, and conversion of different kinds of knowledge. It refers to the formation of new notions and concepts. Nonaka's model, very important for examination point of view. According to Nonaka's model, proposed a theory of organizational knowledge creation centering on the SECI model. What this SECI model consisting of? Consisting of a matrix, 4 chambers: socialization, externalization, internalization, and a combination relating to tactic knowledge to explicit knowledge, and explicit knowledge to tactic knowledge, both on x-axis and y-axis respectively. The model describes knowledge creation as a thrilling process of interactions between the explicit and tactic knowledge. First one is tactic knowledge. Second one is explicit knowledge. Tactic knowledge is termed as a knowledge how, and explicit knowledge is termed as a knowing that. And first phase is socialization, tactic to tactic. The process that transfers tactic knowledge is one person to tactic knowledge in the another person in socialization. And second one is externalization, tactic to explicit. The process for making tactic knowledge to explicit is externalization. This is done in two ways: articulation by an expert or eliciting and translating the tactic knowledge of others into a readily understandable form through question answer sessions, interviews. Means collecting the primary data and making it into analysis and getting the interpretation. And third one is combination, explicit to explicit. This is the simplest form. Codified knowledge sources are combined to create new knowledge. This is the information that is widely available in books, journals, and manuals, which relates to secondary data. Next one is internalization, explicit to tactic. It is a learning process of an individual, very simple. The internalization process transfers organization and group explicit knowledge to the individual level, and which consists of, for discussion, spaces for spiral, enablers, vision, sharp, Walt Disney, 3M innovation. They're all relating to contents of this 4 phases of SECI model of knowledge creation with respect to various organizations. Example. Next one is strategy, system, structure, staff. They're all contents in the Nonaka's model of this knowledge creation, which is known as SECI model of knowledge creation. Now, small topic, meaning of knowledge capture. Knowledge resides in individuals who are members of stakeholder groups of the organization. For example, if you take R&D department, so many scientists will be there. Their knowledge is abundant with their intellectual capabilities, and they will capture the knowledge immediately. Employees, customers, suppliers, government agencies, community, and others also part of the stakeholders. They will also have some amount of knowledge capture. mechanism immediately. Such a tactic knowledge is converted into explicit form by means of externalization and internalization. Gartner defines knowledge capture as one of the 5 activities of the knowledge management process framework. Knowledge captures makes a tactic knowledge explicit. It turns knowledge that is resident in the mind of the individual into the explicit representation available to the enterprise. Means what are the knowledge having in the mind will explicit representation available to that particular enterprise. It is known as knowledge capture. Capturing from experts. Knowledge capture is demanding mental process in which a knowledge developer collaborates with other experts to convert expertise into a coded program. The steps involved are choosing experts, developing in relationship, using an appropriate tool to elicit information from the expert, interpreting the information and the underlying knowledge and reasoning process, and building the rules that represent the expert's thought process or solution. It is a capturing mechanism from experts, which consisting of 5 steps. Next one is developing relationship. Present a good image of self, have regard to the expert, understand the style of expert, explore, and using appropriate tool to elicit information from the experts. The types of knowledge is market knowledge, product knowledge, business process knowledge. Application and several tools are for market knowledge, surveys questionnaire, partner portal, and product knowledge focus group, and feedback forms on website, surveys, call center, sentiment analysis. And one more product knowledge tools are brainstorming, content analysis, surveys, focus groups and interviews, and business process knowledge tools are test drives and surveys. They're all different tools applied for different types of knowledge mechanism. And next one is relating to on-set observation and brainstorming and protocol analysis and consensus decision making and a repository grid and nominal group techniques, and these are all tools and techniques used with respect to different types of knowledge mechanism for capturing from experts in the form of metrics. Means this capturing from experts, not only capturing, how to make that into one effective metrics environment by using several tools. Just now we discussed tools, survey questionnaires, focus groups, feedback forms, brainstorming, and test drives. Using these tools makes into some meaningful sense relating to these knowledge capture mechanism in the real-time scenario. And these different tools and techniques we are continuing in the next class. And up to now, yesterday class and previous classes and up to today, anybody is having any queries and any questions and any valuable suggestions and anything to be revised it, and anybody wants to share your knowledge or skills, you can ask and you can speak, and you can unmute it and you can ask and you can speak, and any queries, any questions. Anything to be revised it, and kindly requesting and just daily 5-10 minutes revise the completed contents. In the coming class also, if you are having any queries, any questions, anything to be revised it, you can ask. That is your fundamental right. And before you are writing the examination, 5 important questions will be given, and at least 2 will come in the examination on the same similar pattern of the question. And not only that, please prepare the university material, and you can prepare your own available material also along with university material. And not only that, take some specific textbooks, prescribed authors, have an habit of reading. And in this completion, if you are having any queries, any questions, kindly requesting and please ask in the next sessions. Any queries, any questions only? Okay, and we are concluding for today, and thank you for respected Sas and madam. Thank you, and
Thank you, sir.
thank you. And